All right. We're going to go in the Wayback Machine here. And this one is horrifying. This was a online RPG. This was actually a graphical MUD, a multi-user dungeon for those familiar. Now, these were text games that were very popular in the early days of the internet because text was easy on bandwidth, and you could easily connect to a remote server and transfer a little bit of text and get a lot of gameplay out of it. So my very, very first original game is the Trinity Star, and that's what we're about to take a look at. And let me just warn you, it's going to look horrible. This game was built in something like 1999 or the year 2000. No graphical talent at all, so I was piecing together things from the internet. A lot of RPG Maker graphics, you'll notice, actually. And not even the good ones from the modern era. We're talking the old school stuff. But this game was made to mirror that kind of round-based combat system that you're familiar with from any ROM-based MUD. And so let's open it up. Oh my goodness sakes. So this is the Trinity Star. So we're just going to walk around a little bit. You can see a lot of really questionable graphics. To interact with anything, there was no clicking on stuff. You had to right click and you had to go through this menu. So I can read the sign. This sign reads, this is a healing pad. Oh, peasant lady. Now, I've got a lot more commands than a player would see. Sell all furs. Apparently that's a command. But let's see. I think speak. What do you need healed? Ah, this was the healer. So here we are in the starting temple. This had a healer. And anyone who's played a ROM MUD or a Merc MUD or a Diku MUD is familiar with the healer at the center of town. They would automatically cast spells to heal you up when you're a low level, or if you were a high level, you could pay a little bit of money to get some healing. So we'll walk south. You can see there's a disparity in resolution. These are real blocky. I think this is like basically maybe 8x8 tiles. I don't know. This was like a very large tree. Maybe that's a 32x32. Same with this texture is definitely a higher resolution than this grass here. Anyways, let's not focus on the graphics. We know it ain't pretty. The text output was a really big part of this game. You did have like a little stat panel here that had some information. You also had your inventory of things. I don't have anything on me. But the text output really conveyed a lot of the information. Let's speak to Laura and see what she says. What would you like? Potion of life. Buy the potion for 50 gold. Your gold. Oh, I have plenty of gold. Let's pick it up. There we go. We got a potion of life in the inventory. Let's head down here, see what we can see. Is this Cloud? I think this is Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Maybe. I don't know. Pixelized version of him. Here's a bank. Oh, and you can actually see when we walked on certain tiles, it prints us a message. Those were like descriptions, as if you were walking into a room. It's a private BYOND store. That was actually a monetization thing, BYOND back in the day. It was basically a microtransaction currency on the platform that this game was built on. So I don't see any vendors where I could buy a weapon or something, but let's not let that stop us. We'll head through here. These are actually teleporters, and they teleport me to the next zone, which apparently doesn't even have consistent grass tiles. Black borders everywhere. Wow, a real sketch. This is a really interesting area here with the brown path and sorted, dorky-looking mobs. Let's fight a mob. Let's see what happens. Oh, rabbit. I would have swore that's a dog. Guess it's a rabbit. Let's kill it. Rabbit hits me first for 1 damage. I hit it for 2,416. Oh, I killed it. Got 0 experience. I think it's just telling me how much gold I have. And then the battle ended. Ah, and here we've got a repop. That was when the entire world would respawn all of its creatures and so forth. So you had to wait for a repop for a respawn. And so you could see right here. So if you're farming like a particular boss or something, we'll just go a little quick go through some areas here, see what we can see. Wow, this is disgusting. What is this? This is like a path to the clouds. Oh, sure enough, look at that. There's a harpy. It looks like a slime ball. Just a bunch of harpies everywhere. Slime ball harpies. Let's go back down to Earth. That's terrifying. What's over here? Oh, really mismatched graphics are over here, apparently. This is where, oh my goodness. Oh. Everything about this is really questionable. I haven't booted this up in well over 10, I don't know, 10 years probably, at least. I could buy a second issue vest. Let's pick it up. Check out that vest sprite. Where? Not equip, where? We'll equip that bad boy. I think that's going to give me a stat and boost to my guard or something. Is there a way to see? Oh, stat. Aha. Requires level 20. Gives me 36 more max HP. Affects null by 0 twice, just in case it weighs not available. And has a value of 2,000. Come up here, I think. Some more areas. So this actually, this game had a decent amount of popularity. I believe the concurrent user count hit somewhere up into the 30s, which was pretty good for a Beyond game of that time, of that era. I believe the entire Beyond ecosystem was about 200 concurrent users, so we were hitting about 15% of the entire population on this really crappy looking game. And that's because it was one of the first fully fleshed out RPGs on the platform. We had all the gameplay that people kind of came to expect. Killing things, getting loot, getting money, buying new stuff, increasing your character stats. And so we even though there were probably hundreds of games on the platform, we did eat up a good portion of the user base. And so, yeah, that's basically the Trinity Star in a nutshell. One interesting thing about this game is I was an amateur developer. I don't know, might have been 15 or 16 years old when I built this. And the reason that this game closed down was because I actually lost the source code. Can you believe it? I didn't know what source control was. And so I lost the source code. The only backup that I had was probably something like, I don't know, 4 months old or something. And so it would have reverted so many features, and none of the player files or anything were compatible with that old version due to, all the features that had come in. And so that marked the end of my ability to update or upgrade the game in any way. And so the servers remained online for a while, but eventually, due to lack of updates like many online games, the player base dwindled as they lost interest in the game and the gameplay. And so that's how the Trinity Star got shut down. And that actually was a great thing because it led me to work on several other projects, including Survival, which was probably my biggest hit at the time. That had a nice large user base and a lot of interesting stuff. So definitely, if you're interested in hearing about that, check out my other video about Survival, the Lost Era, also here in the Wayback series. And thank you for watching.